Good afternoon and welcome to More Meets the Eye. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and here's your co-host, Cream the Cat. He usually is sleeping in a corner, but for some reason he is very active today. Oh, who's a good active Cream? Hmm? You're such a fat orange cat. Did you get your orange brain cell today? Huh? Is it your day with the brain cell? Maybe. Maybe not. He already knocked everything over from my table here. I had all this stuff lined up, and he just comes jumping up on the table and going, "No! I don't like these things." Just destroyed everything. Cream, you're a destructive animal. Yes, you are. Oh boy. All right. Yeah. Now he's laid back down. I don't have to worry about him destroying anything else on my set today. Hi. Welcome to More Than Meets the Eye. Today we're going to be talking about G2 Sideswipe. I found him at Walmart for $10 because they were having a sale. And I picked him up a couple of weeks ago because, well, I wanted an Earth mode Sideswipe just to figure out what the difference was between the two. And now I know. And I'm going to share it with you, my viewers, listeners, and, fans. I hope that you enjoyed today's show, and please go below, hit the like button, share, and subscribe like everyone else asks you to do. I know. Everyone else asks you to do it. Everyone asks you to do it. But honestly, we don't really have another option. We got to push that because that's how the algorithm works, yo. All right, let's get into this. So I've got a Sideswipe mold here. I don't know if this is Deep Cover, Sideswipe, or somebody else. There were a lot of copies of this mold. I have 3 of them myself, and I wanted to kind of finish it out with a 4th. I have the First Aid, and I have Deep Cover and Sideswipe from the Netflix exclusive War for Cybertron stuff. So let's go ahead and compare these two guys real quick. There's not much difference. I'll be straight with you on that one. They are very, very similar. Other than apparently G2 guy here, Sideswipe, has got one great paint job. That's how I discovered about him, because my friend I was at Walmart with was like, "Whoa, that's a cool looking Transformer." And I went over because the box, has that hole in it, so I could feel. And I'm, wait a minute, this is a Sideswipe mold. They did another one of these, and I picked it up for $10. It was a really good deal, in my opinion. So let's set the Deep Cover / Sideswipe off to the side here. He's just going to hang out over there, and let's talk about this. So first off, mold degradation. There's none. There's no mold degradation here. Everything moves like it's supposed to. That surprised me. Okay, this knee here is really, actually both of his knees are kind of loose. Let's take a look at you, Deep Cover. How are your knees looking? Your knees are a little better, but your hip is loose. How are your hips? Let's see. Hip, sturdy. Hip, sturdy. Good, sturdy, strong hips. And a little bit of a loose knee, but he may have taken an arrow in it at some point in his life. We don't know. But yeah, if you give him the good old shake test, that leg and that knee is going to move around. Now, texture-wise, this guy's not really much different from the Sideswipe that you get normally. He's got some, they took away that blast effect port that would be on his chest, like we got here. You got a little button thing sticking out on the right-hand side. Just beside the head is where the button should be for blast effects to plug in, but it isn't there. And they re-sculpted the front to be a little smoother compared to this. This sculpted front for Deep Cover / Sideswipe here is, it's a bit different. It's got a harsher feel to it. So the lines are very rigid in the Siege version, whereas the Earthrise version here, or Legacy Evolution version, however you want to call it, these lines are very mellow. They kind of flow into one another, and it makes it feel like more of a car that you would find on the road, where this one feel more like somebody took a Lamborghini and then what if we made it sci-fi. That's how the Siege mold feels compared to the Legacy Evolution mold here / Earthrise mold. All right, gun wise, he comes with a slightly different than normal weapon. It's got this really neat missile that comes out of the front. I've never, didn't come across that before, but that's kind of neat. That's really odd too. But you can get him to hold the missile, but it doesn't really hold well. It's a really weird one. I'll be straight with you. It does plug into his shoulder cannon, but that's about it. The connector's too thin, and this is the first time I've ever experienced a connector that isn't a 5 mm port. Like, look at that. That connector doesn't go into anything, but this particular weapon it doesn't even really go into the back. It does kinda, and that's because it's got a layer of ridge there, but it feels like it's more of a device for Micromasters or core class figures to use. But it does fit back in. It's got some waffling on that missile part, and the other part on his shoulder, the other piece, this thing, get off, come on. Sticks in there really well. I always liked how the weapons fit very sturdily in these, and it's not much different from the weird cannon thing that we got with Sideswipe. It's just we got this weird addition to it, which is this really cool missile. We did not get a missile with the other Sideswipe. No, you don't have stuff on you. Where's the weapons? Here we go. Here's the old Sideswipe weapon. Actually, let's take a look, because I think I may be wrong, and sometimes I am wrong. No, I am wrong. We did get a missile in the original one, but this missile had a thicker port on the end, and it had a siege peg on the side, a thicker peg on the end and a siege peg on the side, so that individuals could hold it. Like, you could just take it and stick it on his shoulder like that. Pew pew! But you can't do that with the new one. So this one just plugs in to the old style. Now let's take a look. Where's the new one? Let's see if it plugs into the old stuff real quick. Boom, boom, and plugged in. It does plug into the old stuff, but it's not as sturdy of a plug as we had in the past. That is not as sturdy in the the weapon. Not nearly so much as the thicker siege peg missile that has the peg hanging out from underneath it. I hate that they had a peg hanging out from underneath it. I like the fact that this one doesn't have that peg, but also at the same time, why did you make the connector so thin? That's just a shame. So let's not get these confused. I'm going to set that one off to the side. Let's go ahead and grab these pieces here and set them off to the side too. So that's his weapon. It's got a rectangular peg and a siege peg. Now, that's kind of the majority of what I wanted to talk about with this guy. Come down here to the legs, and we've got some newer textures going on there with the leg, but there's not much else. This guy's got all the same articulation as Sideswipe from Siege. He's basically the same. It's just that he's got a little bit of new molding, new textures, and yeah, let's go ahead and transform him into vehicle mode so that we can take a look at how it all comes together. So let's go ahead and rotate these legs like so. Take those side panels out of there. Raise this arm up. Take that side panel out of there. Collapse the fist into the arms. All right, now the fist, cool. Then collapse that. Slip that fist into the fist hole. And come over here. Right angle that arm. Slip that fist into the fist hole. Close the panels on the sides. Fold up the leg compartments. Fold in the toesy woesies. Fold in the toesy wosy. Come on, come on. These feet are always difficult to fold in. Which, you know what? It's kind of a feature, because it'd really suck if this guy just randomly fell forwards on his face. So I appreciate that. Now let's get those two pieces lined up and make sure all that's straightened out. Fold that piece under from this front. Click those two guys together. Fold, fold, fold. Let's get those edges clicked under and click that together. And there we are. We have got a Sideswipe. Go ahead and put his gun back here on his rear area. There's a okay. So now that we have this guy transformed, let's take a look at some of the differences. Number one, there is a siege port on the back, but it doesn't feel like one. It's got kind of a triangular feel to it, though it does work as a siege port. It just doesn't feel round at the top. It's really interesting how they did that. They hid the siege port in a triangle, and I love that. I do like hiding siege ports in amongst the folds of either the robot or the vehicle mode. I do like the way this thing feels. They did a lot of changes here. I like the little bits that come up on the sides that they sculpted in to make the front windshield an actual windshield and give you side windows. Those are all really well done. All of those little features are. Coming into the back, we've got these wonderful back vents that Lamborghinis are known for, and these little cut sides for air intakes. It's just, it's really cool. It's really nice. They even did a good job with the hubcaps. See, this car is sweet. So I've got the Siege version. No, wait, no, that's Sunstreaker. There we go. Siege version of the Sideswipe mold. So we can take a look at the differences of the two. Okay, so the big differences here are in how the windshield's done. In the Siege version, they didn't give us anything on the edges to be like, that's an actual windshield, and that's a side window, and that's a side window. Here, the entire thing, even the top, is just one big windshield that folds backwards and flows around. Real sci-fi like. Here, there is a Siege port at the top, but you can tell that's actually the roof of a car, whereas this is just more window. Coming into the back area here, we get that the Siege mold, like I said, has very harsh lines to it. You get these edges on the sides, but then it dips in real sharply to a very smooth rear area. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 vents on this, just 4 little slivers collapsed on top of each other, and it stretches the entire length of the rear. Whereas in the Earthrise mode here, or the Legacy Evolution G2 Sideswipe, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it drops off to be to kind of act as that big vent thing on the rear. So you got 5 vents that are real close together, where this one has 4 of those vent things, but they're really wide. I think each of them is about as wide as my pointer finger, where each one of these is about as wide as a siege peg. It's very, very different in feel. And then it drops down like the back of a window would just end, and then that would be your trunk area. I don't really know much about the rear of a Lamborghini, but it just feels like this thing needs some spoilers. But yeah, that's how that feels. It's really nice, and I like the way it comes down to a tapered end there. It all comes together real sweet. I also like the textures on the sides of the vehicle mode here. We also get siege ports. We get 1. We get none on the front. We got 1 on the top. So 1, 2, 1 on each side, 1 on the top. And then we've got 1 on the back on each side. So it comes out to be 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 siege ports for him. Whereas siege mode here, he has got siege ports galore. He's got 1 on his top. He's got 1 on the side. So that's 3 so far. And then he's got 2 on either side of his. So he comes out to be 7 siege pegs, or siege ports. Let's make sure of that. Yeah, that's a siege port. That's a siege port. He's got 4 on his back. Well, 5 if you count the center one. And yeah, they're the same length. They haven't changed any. Well, actually, no, they're not exactly the same length, because Legacy Evolution G2 Sideswipe is just a smidge longer because of how the mold works. It's a very nice vehicle. It's very well put together. Now let's compare the Earth modes together for him and his brother. I do wish we had gotten a Cybertronian mode for Sunstreaker here. That would have been a cool thing to get in Siege. But here we go. Here they are compared to each other. And I know G2 Sideswipe is not red, but you can imagine it to be like I do. I imagine it to be red. Anyway, that's the brother Autobots together. I think they look really swell together. And then I'm just going to take off his Sunstreaker's jetpack, and we're just going to put it right there on Earthrise Sideswipe. And it actually it fits in so much better with Earthrise Sideswipe. Those air intakes are perfectly aligned with the front window, and the rear of that ends right at the roof of the vehicle mode. Sideswipe, the G2 Sideswipe, is made to hold this weird jetpack thing that comes with Earthrise Sunstreaker. It just works so much better with G2 Sideswipe or just the Earthrise Sideswipe mold. That fits. Wow. Just wow. That one got me. Okay, that fits so well. And it's just surprising how well that worked. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching today's video. We're not really going to be doing much more on the Sideswipe G2 because, I mean, there's not much to talk about other than what I talked about today. I hope that all of you out there are having a wonderful day. Go out and play in this wonderful weather. Do something for yourself today so you can have a little fun. Life is about happiness. Go make your own. Till next Prime. Bye-bye for now.